What's going on, everybody on YouTube? Thank you so much for picking this video. I realize there's a few of these out, but I'm going to try to make mine a little different because I have some extra things to compare it to. If you clicked on the title, you already know what this is. I am super thrilled with Obi-Wan. I've been loving everything about Obi-Wan. I love that Galaxy's Edge props are being used, and I got to tell you, there is nothing more exciting as a prop builder and a prop collector as seeing something you own show up in a live action version of something, because it just adds more relevance to the fact that you have it. It makes you more happy to have it in your collection. Sometimes things show up and we don't have them and we try to make them, and then one day a licensed version comes out and it's more than you could ever hope for. And to be honest with you, after watching The Mandalorian, there were several of those props, and Disney has done a great job about giving us a good amount of them. Sideshow gave us the best looking Grogu I've ever seen, and we all saw that I've modded that, and I'm very happy with that. We've gotten Mando's blaster from Nerf, and that was above and beyond, and everybody was very surprised by that. Even the Black Series helmets have really been impressive, and you guys have seen my Boba Fett helmet comparison, and I've shown that. So you can imagine my excitement when Star Wars Celebration came through and they announced that they were going to make the Camtono. Now, everybody who's ever seen Empire Strikes Back knows about the Camtono. There are many Wilro Hood fans out there, and we've seen the Wilro Hood race. We all know about that costume, and some of us even have ice cream makers that we collect pieces for in an attempt to make our own Camtono, because that's how cool that prop was. And that was well before Mando ever came out. And then Mando comes out and shows us a functioning Camtono, and our minds have been blown. The fact that they took such an obscure prop and made it relevant again, if you weren't on board with that show, then you instantly fell in love with Favreau and Filoni, if you weren't already there. And so I'm really excited because I thought it was a Parks exclusive, and I'm going there in November, so I thought I'd have to wait. And then during Celebration, they dropped the great news that they're going to throw it up on ShopDisney for everybody. So naturally, I jumped on it, and I got one immediately. And I was super happy because with coupons and stuff, this thing ended up only costing me about $40. And I was really happy with that. It arrived broken. The good news is it's easy to disassemble. I was able to see what was going on with it, and it got jostled during shipping, and there were some wires that came off and some springs that slipped. I was able to put those back together, and now it works. So we're going to take a look at this, and I'm going to go over some of the more interesting details about it, and I'm going to show you basically what the Camtono is and what it does. I'm going to review it a little differently than what everybody else has done, because I'm also going to measure it and show you the width of the bay and all that stuff. So I'm going to show you guys practically what you can do with it. What are you doing, Bubba? You bad? Dogs. So let's take a look at the Camtono and the intro.
Behold, my stuff.
Alrighty, so here's what I want to show you with the Camtono. Now, I have the lighting set up a specific way right now because I want to show off the fact that this is not glossy like plastic, okay? This is glossy. This has that very clean, white, molded plastic look like Stormtrooper armor. That is not what this is. This has a matte finish. It also has a brushed finish, which when the camera is flipped, the detail will pick up and you can see it. So you can see that this is brushed, and it almost has a little bit of a texture to it. So it has that flat finish, which is what we wanted. The other thing I was very excited to see is that I thought these lines were painted on. You can hear that sound. These are grooved. There is actually a recess here. So this is a recess. These are recessed. These are recessed. So none of this is done cheaply. Also, the little bits and scratches throughout the piece, and they are few and far between, but they do have them, are matte gray. So if you want to go in with silver, like Molotov Chrome or something of the sort, and add some additional weathering and stuff, you can do so. This will paint up beautifully with this matte base. So if you want to go in with black and silver and things like that, and you know, your browns and umbers, this will paint up beautifully. So I am going to modify this and paint it up. So it is a toy. It is not necessarily a high-end prop replica. It's just a toy. But it is a absolutely wonderful toy. And it is a little rickety, but for $40 or $45, you can't beat that price. And because it was broken, I reached out to Shop Disney. They couldn't replace it.
I don't know why I tried.
They offered me 20% off to keep it or a full refund. And so at first I was going to say, just give me the refund. But then when I realized I may never get one of these because of their popularity and the fact that scalpers are charging you for your firstborn child to get them, and even worse, that people are stupid enough to pay it, then it became an issue of I might as well just keep the broken one and see if I can fix it. And if I can't, oh well, maybe somebody will want the pieces to build their own. There was a gentleman who did a 3D printed one and put his own electronics in it, so I figured maybe somebody would buy the shell and swap out the electronics or something. So I decided to take the 20% off and keep it, which means the total cost to me was about $35. But I spoke to my friend in Australia, CB Studios. If you are not following his channel, go follow it. He is the man. I'll put a link in the description below. And he was basically telling me to stop being a piece of crap and just try to fix it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? You break it more. So I went in and I tried to fix it, and then I did. And I actually spoke to my friend Ryan, and he agreed. He was like, just try to fix it. And even though I'm shit with electronics, I did it anyway. You know, a one wire that came off, that's easy to fix. And the spring, well, that's mechanical. I can deal with that. So I did it. So this has been turned on, and I will show you some of the details later, which means we have lights and sounds. So right now, it's locked, and the default code is still here, so there's 6, there's the mechanism, counterclockwise, and it pops open. Now there is, not hydraulics, but there is a system attached to these to help them fold out slowly, and if you pick it up all the way, they'll fall down all the way, but because I have it in the Lazy Susan, it didn't do that, so yours will. There is a red light in there, just like in the show, which is a nice little addition. I thought I was going to have to add that. It's dim. We probably want to up that a little bit. The other thing that I was really interested in looking at are these. This is spongy material, and it's been scored and impressed, but not cut. So if you want to get these grooved, you can go over them with black and make the grooves stand out, or you can cut them. I'm probably just going to go over with a pen and push them in further and just sort of do that as a cheap and easy way to do it. I've put some Beskar in here. Just some cast Beskar. You know. Now, these are pretty sizable pieces of Beskar. These won't fit 2 up in there. So I mentioned that we're going to take a look at how big the inside actually is. So we're going to go over to my wall of shit. We're going to grab my big-ass ruler next to my Skeletor staff. And let's see how big this thing actually is. So if we go from end to end, the inner piece caps out at around 6 inches. So your actual workable space is a circumference, or excuse me, a diameter of 6 inches. That is not a lot of space. So you're going to have to be very selective about what you put in. But what is cool is you can see the things are rounded in there. So you can put a round bed of something in there to place your stuff on. Maybe your own a little Lazy Susan or something like that. So you can do that. The mechanism, if you see these little guys, is spring-loaded. So these little things stick down spring. These things can get stuck up in the top of this. So there are screws throughout the base. There's about 2 per side. If you unscrew all that, this whole top piece here comes off, and then you can access all the mechanisms, and then once you do that, it's super easy to fix. Similarly, if the battery pack, which we will now put it back, you got to really slam these shut. If the battery pack is compromised, I'm going to flip this upside down.
Upside down.
All right, so the battery pack down here, if this gets screwed up, middle screw, all these surrounding screws, this completely pops out. It's really just 2 wires that are running up into the unit itself. There's a red wire coming off the positive and a blue wire coming off the, a black wire coming off the negative. That goes to the switch, or I should say the switch goes to this, goes to up into the unit. What happened to mine is the black wire just came right off. So I used some aluminum tape to re-secure it and some hot glue to secure the wire because I didn't have any solder. And I figured I can remove all that if I need to later and then solder it again, but that seems to be working, so I'm going to leave it. The Shop Disney ones have this black text. The Parks ones do not. They just have this. So this is on the Shop Disney stuff. So that's what's going on with the Shop Disney. But overall, you're never going to see the bottom. Sorry, I just threw that. So let's talk a little bit about dimension. So I told you guys I was going to show you how big this is. So let's see how big it is. So to the top of the unit, it's about 10 inches. To the actual top, it's about 12 inches. It's more like, no, it's about 12. So it's about 12 inches tall. Its width, let's see. It's also about, it's actually about 10 inches wide, so it's almost a cube. It's a little wider than this tall. The base unit is obviously much thinner than that, but it's definitely what should be considered 1-to-1 scale, even though it may be a little smaller than. You can get your fingers in here. Now, as you guys know, I have big hands. Just check the shirts on Brett's Groovy Chainsaws. So I can get all 4 fingers in there, but the scoop makes it impossible for you to get all your fingers in there. So what you can do is you can cut this out, grab yourself some milliput, and redo this inside, and then you'll get your hands in there very easily. I may do that to some degree. I may try to work on that at some point, but I'm not going to mess with it. I'm really just going to repaint it. But you can reset the code. Everybody's shown you this. If you hold this guy down... Actually, let's get the instructions, because that'll probably make more sense. And let's give it a shot. So you hold this till it starts blinkies. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So now if I do the old password, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nada. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And now it works. Counterclockwise. Pop goes the weasel. So, again, very, very cool. We could throw any number of items in there. We could throw our Beskar ingots in there for a display. Modding these lamps into Kyber holders, but... Oh, maybe it won't fit. Maybe I lied. No, it does. So, you could put your Kyber crystal holder in there. Interestingly enough, it looks like the light turned off. So that might mean that my wire came out again. Let's find out. I'd be curious to see if that actually happened. Nope, it still works. So it says, no, bro, you're still open, so you got to relock it. So the light does turn off, it seems. So that's good to know. But yeah, you could do the Kyber holder. So if you guys make these designs so that you could put Kyber crystals in there and it'll light up and do its thing. But of course I killed it. So mine doesn't do that. It's just a cool little display. But again, you know, this is the kind of weathering finish that I will probably do to the Camtono. And you can kind of see that is kind of the look we're gonna go for with that. So it should be fun. So yeah, that is the Camtono. That is the Camtono. I am a big, big fan of it. I've wanted this thing since it debuted on The Mandalorian, and I am so thrilled to actually have it. I'm going to have it on display. I can't wait to utilize it and take some photos with Grogu. I may even do a Mando costume one day, or some type of a Star Wars costume in which I would need to carry something around, and then this would be that thing. Some kind of a bounty hunter, maybe a Cobb Vanth, a smuggler, a card player, who knows. But I could definitely see Cad Bane walking around one of these, and I've been working on some Cad Bane stuff. So I absolutely recommend it. I would not recommend spending more than $60 on one. It's not worth more of a markup than that. It is still a plastic toy, and if you're spending more than $60, A, you're encouraging people to rape you for money, and B, it's just not that important. It was on Shop Disney once. It will be again. Spend $45 on it, or go to the park and spend $50 on it. Don't spend more than $60 on one of these. It's just not. It's not a $100 item. It's not a $125 item. It damn sure ain't a $150 item. And if you pay that, you're just telling people to go to the parks and go to Shop Disney and clean them out and sell them for those higher amounts because you are dumb enough to buy them. So don't do that. Don't be a scalper. Don't buy from a scalper at that level. Just simply wait it out. Now that they're actually available, wait it out. If they never come back to Shop Disney, hire someone to go to have somebody go down and smuggle it for you. Maybe they'll charge you 20% of a smuggler's fee or something, which is totally fair. But again, we're not talking more than about $60. So that's as much as I would spend on it. I will have a few more things coming down the pipe. A helmet that I want to show you guys. And we may be doing some modifications to the Darth Vader. I did recently get to wear my Darth Vader to an event. Unfortunately, it was a funeral. I was by request. I did not charge for that. But I was very happy to bring what they felt the person who left us too soon would have wanted for their passing. I did view it as kind of an honor. It also was extremely uncomfortable because I did not know how it would be received, particularly by the gentleman's parents. So I was glad that they were very okay with it. So I did get to revamp that a little bit in the style of Obi-Wan, which is where my Vader costume is going to go. You guys have not seen it. It is my most viewed video, so you can go check out my Black Series helmet versus my Ruby's helmet and the modification of the Ruby Supreme costume that I have. I'll be doing another update video on that in the future as I get the wiring and stuff updated to kind of revisit what Vader looks like as ANH Vader or Obi-Wan Vader when I get some new gloves and stuff. And hopefully a new helmet. We'll see. But thank you guys for checking out this video. Thank you for continuing to check out the channel. And hopefully you get something out of that. Hopefully that video gives you some insight into some of the questions you had that haven't really been answered on other channels. There are some great prop review channels out there. I encourage you to watch all of them because that's what I do. I sit downstairs and I just watch YouTube all day. And I'm like, what did he buy? What did they buy? What did she get? You know, and that's what I do. So we'll build some stuff real soon. I got some things that I'm working on. And yeah, we'll just do it one day at a time. I have some Doctor Strange stuff that I really want to show off. I had filmed a video and then I didn't edit it properly, so I'm just going to reshoot it. That's why I haven't put one up in a hot minute. And there's some new stuff coming, Evil Dead and others, so we're going to check that out. Knights of Samaria has recently celebrated crossing 1,000 organic members, which is, you know, not that great for Facebook, but it's cool for us because we actively boot people out all the time for being dicks. So we're really happy to have 1,000 cool people in the group. And we're going to continue to grow and focus on that. And of course, there will be Ghost. So thank you guys. Have a good day. And